Lesson 4, Biological Processes 1. This chapter mainly talks about three types of functions of our body. Okay, those are respiration, circulation, and excretion. Okay, all three of them are discussed in detail. We are going to see how respiration takes place, how circulation happens, and how excretion happens in our body. What organs are responsible for all these processes. Okay, let's give this a read. All living organisms need energy to stay alive. Energy is essentially required for the proper functioning of various activities of the body. But where does this energy comes from? We know that one of the basic needs of all living organisms is energy, right? Every living organism needs energy to live, to survive. But where does this energy comes from? So in the previous chapter, how we talked about that energy is derived from nutrition, right? When animals they eat food, from that they consume nutrition, like they gain nutrition, and through that they derive energy. Okay, and the food procured by various sources is digested. The digested food is absorbed by the body so that it can be used for various functions in the body. And the leftover undigested waste material is thrown out of the body. Okay, so how from this digested food energy is created, we will see. Okay, so first of all is about breathing. Okay, why is it essential to breathe? Because respiratory is all about breathing. Okay, now breathing is essential to produce energy in the body. Okay, not only for us to stay alive, but also to produce energy in our body. Energy is essential for staying alive. In reality, energy is needed by every object for moving, walking, etc. If we say for driving a car, we need petrol, diesel, or gas. Okay. And in the same manner, all living organisms need food for movement and other functions. Oxygen is an essential gas for producing energy from food. Now, when the energy accumulated in food, when is it released? It's released only when it burns in the oxygen gas found in the air when it reacts with it. Along with energy, carbon dioxide and water are also formed in this reaction. Okay, so what is respiration? What is respiration? The process of formation of energy from food is called respiration. Okay, we form energy. Okay, formation of energy takes place from the food. Okay, that process is also called respiration. What happens is now that food it reacts with oxygen. Okay, it reacts with oxygen and gives out three components: carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Okay, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So in this form, the energy is produced in respiration. Okay, if reaction is asked, sometimes in test I ask reaction. Give the equation for respiration or give the reaction of respiration. So you have to mention this. Okay, food plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Okay, now if all the living
What is
organisms,
that energy?
yes, Abraham.
What is that energy?
What is that energy? Energy, Abraham, is basically it gives strength to our body. Okay, that
No, ma'am.
energy.
What is the energy made of? Like, does it have any particles or like water
What
is
is that
hydrogen and oxygen, and energy is
energy in humans is made up of you can say some of the yes, Trian. You said something.
Nothing, ma'am, because nothing. Continue, ma'am.
Okay. So, energy in human beings is like three things are there. Carbohydrates are there, lipids are there, and proteins are there. Okay, like all of these are there that comes in the form of energy. Okay, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, all of those substances that gives our body the energy. Okay. Like that comes from food. Like when food reacts with oxygen, we will gain the protein, CO2, water, and protein, carbohydrates, fats are released in the form of energy. Okay.
What is that energy that so many like that our body needs so much? Like, is it a compound or what?
It's in the form of, yes, compounds, you can say, or you can say it's in the form of molecules. Okay. It's in the form of
Like what?
molecules like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats are there. Okay. And
Could you say glucose?
we can say glucose. Yes, we can say glucose. Basically, these nutrients are like broken down through various metabolic processes. Okay, and this release the stored energy, and this energy are then absorbed by our cells. Okay, this energy is absorbed by our cells so that they can perform various functions. Okay, that is what happens. Like energy
So, mom,
is
the equation can also be food plus oxygen is equal to carbon dioxide, water plus glucose.
Glucose, yes, but it's not only glucose, it's like proteins and carbohydrates and fats, all of these things. Okay, so only glucose, if you write, then like it's like incomplete kinda. But when you write energy, then under energy only, all the three things come.
Okay,
Okay,
mom.
and
So,
that
another question, mom.
yes,
This energy is not the same as physics, right? When you say energy, that's not the same as physics, right, mom?
not as same as what?
Not the same as physics, right?
Physics. No, that is different. Okay. That energy is energy of like light and different things, but this is the energy that talks about nutrients. Okay. This is different. Okay. This is like energy gained from food, from nutrients. All right. Okay. So, now, if all the living organisms respire day and night, inhale oxygen, exhale carbon dioxide, then why is it that all the oxygen of air is not exhausted and it is not completely filled with CO2? This does not happen because we know that plants, they undergo an important process called photosynthesis, in which um, they the plants take water from the soil and oxygen from the air and convert it into the food in presence of sunlight. Oxygen is also produced in this process, which is released in air. Plants take in CO2 and release oxygen. Okay,
Um,
so yes,
Actually, if all the plants in the world died out, we would still have a lot of oxygen left to last for some time.
yes,
Maybe
that's
like
true.
a few generations, then only the oxygen will get exhausted.
Yes, that's correct. If all the plants die out, we will still have oxygen left for to last some years, quite a few years, because like there is a lot of oxygen that is there in the atmosphere. It won't like completely all end up. It will not end at only at a single moment, no, but slowly it will deplete.
ಬೆಳ್ತುಗಳ ಈ ಬೊಂಬಕ್ಕಂತ ಮುಚ್ಚಲೆ ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಣ್ಣೆ ತಗೊಂತ ಕಲರ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿದ
Then
Um,
yes,
But by that time, humanity will develop something artificial, like a machine that splits oxygen, like splits carbon dioxide into oxygen or water into oxygen.
Probably yes. Maybe humanity will develop something that makes artificial oxygen, that makes oxygen, or some replacement, like some machine that gives oxygen and all. So yeah, it's like possible. Okay, it's possible. Now, how the process of respiration in human body takes place, it's basically divided into two parts. One is the process of breathing, and the other one is process of conversion of food into energy. Both comes under respiration. Breathing also, and how the food is converted to energy, that also comes under respiration. Now, first we will talk about how the process of breathing in a man takes place, in human beings takes place. Okay, so now keep two fingers of your hand under your nose. When you release your breath, you will feel the warm air coming out. You have to count the number of times your fingers feel this warm air. That is how many times you took in and released your breath in 1 minute. Okay, this is known as a rate of respiration. In
Ma'am,
1 minute, how many times?
ma'am, what if you're breathing from your mouth?
What if you're breathing from your
I
mouth?
have a doubt. I know this
Ma'am,
stuff.
if you're
Ma'am,
breathing from your mouth and you
1 minute.
keep your hand and
Okay. Ma'am, next week you're taking a chapter in like a test. With this lesson will come.
Next week test? No, this lesson will not come.
What is the lesson name?
Second chapter will come.
Okay, can you share that name once? Chapter name.
Yes. I have put it in the group, Shriyan. You can check, okay?
Group group. No, okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
better would be
Uh,
to check over here or check over here. But best doctor says you check over here, not on your nose.
Under your nose.
Oh no, ma'am, not under your nose either, or not on your mouth. It's because if you speak, the air will come out. And how do you know that? Like when you're very tired, your nose and mouth be doing the same rate of respiration, and how you know your body's not carrying an anaerobic respiration.
You're right, Abraham. We can do it here.
Here or here.
Yeah. So, Anna, you were saying something?
I'm just directly here the person.
yeah, ma'am, if they do it in the hand, it's like the pulse, right?
Pulse rate is basically your heartbeat, okay? Pulse rate is related with our heartbeat, but rate of respiration is related to how many times we breathe in and breathe out in 1 minute. Okay, that is the rate of respiration. But pulse is related to how many heartbeats you're having, how many beats you're having. Okay,
Okay.
so that is pulse rate. That is different. It is checked from the vein in the wrist or maybe the neck. Okay, the vein is pressed, so you can feel the pulse. Okay, that is pulse rate. But respiration rate is how many times you breathe in and breathe out in 1 minute. So the rate of breathing is different in all individuals. It lies,
How many times your lungs contract and release, right?
yes, we can say that.
But
Okay,
man, there must be another way to know it without just putting it under your nose.
there must be another way. Yes, there must be machines to know it.
Other than that, like how people can do it.
Other than that, you'll have to look it up and check what are the other ways. Okay. Okay. Now, generally, it lies between 15 to 28, but can be more or less than this. Okay, like the in 1 minute, how many times we breathe in and breathe out. It lies in between 15 and 28 and can be more or less. that varies. Okay, that also varies from person to person, can be based on your age. Okay, can be based on your health. Okay, breathing can be different in a healthy person and in a sick person, an ill person. Breathing rates are different in an adult and an old person, right? So it varies from every individual. Now, the rate of respiration increases with fast running exercise or when we are afraid. Okay, so when you know that when we are running fast, when we are doing exercises, when we are or when we are afraid, our breathing rate increases. The rate of respiration it decreases when we are sleeping. Okay, now our body constantly receives oxygen through breathing. Our body it constantly receives oxygen when we breathe in. Yes, Abraham.
Ma'am, I researched on Google. It says that so you have to lay the person flat down on a bed or something. Lay the person flat, and you have to watch their chest or abdomen rise and fall. Then you have to count how many times they do that in a minute.
How many times the abdomen rise and fall? Yes, because when we are breathing, okay, due to the contraction and relaxation of the lungs and the diaphragm, we like our abdomen rises and falls. So it can be counted to know how many in 1 minute, how many times we are breathing. Yes, Anna. You want to ask something, Anna?
Yes, ma'am. They say when the body needs more energy, demands more oxygen. Uh, so people say that when we sleep, our body needs more energy. So when we sleep, do we demand more oxygen?
When we sleep, do we demand more oxygen?
Because
See,
people say that's a time when we need lots of energy.
we need lots of energy. You'll have to look it up, Anna. Okay, just look it up and check the fact like that if it is true that when we're sleeping we need more energy for metabolic activities, for like activities like fast running exercise and all, we need more energy because we are doing something heavy. Okay, so yes, Abraham.
Ma'am, it could be that you need more energy because like all the energy is exhausted in your body and you need more to refill it up in your sleep.
Maybe, yes, maybe it is possible that we need more energy in our sleep when we are like sleeping. Okay, but like when we are sleeping, that is true that rate of respiration is lesser. Okay, like the rate of respiration decreases because our body is in a relaxation mode. Okay, our body is not like working, our body is not doing activities or tasks, but just lying down. Okay, so a respiration, rate of respiration is somewhat slower. Now, the amount of oxygen is more in the air inhaled through breathing. The amount of carbon dioxide is more in the air expelled through breathing. What we breathe in, we breathe oxygen. When we expel the air out, what comes out is CO2 in that air. Carbon dioxide is there. When the body needs more energy, it demands more oxygen. Thereby, the rate of respiration increases. Okay. And when the body needs less energy, the demand of oxygen decreases, thereby the rate of respiration also slows down while sleeping. It says that while sleeping, our body needs less energy. Okay. Now, how do we respire? Okay. Right now, we talked about the energy the breathing process. Okay. Now, what exactly happens? How do this respiration takes place inside of us? Okay, that we are going to talk of now.
Anna, actually, you don't need more energy in the night. That's what Google said.
That's what I think too, because your body is, like I said, not engaged in active movements and like really like activities which require you some good amount of movements. No, it's all relaxed.
And ma'am, I think it says that because it reduces the metabolic rate, the brain energy demands are significantly lower, and energy conservation. Sleep is crucial for energy conservation.
That's true. Okay. Now, how do we respire? Generally, we breathe through our nostrils. Air is taken in through the nostrils and passes through the respiratory tube. We take in the air through the nostrils and then it passes through the respiratory tube in the body and then it reaches the lungs. Lungs are a soft part of our body. Okay, they are protected by a rib cage. This cage comprises a vertebral column at the back and of the chest bone at the front. Remember in the last chapter we saw vertebral column, that is a part of the backbone in the back, and the front there is chest bones, and both these bones are connected by ribs on either side. The base of this cage is made up of a layer of muscles which is called the diaphragm. Okay, this is the diaphragm. The diaphragm keeps on moving up and down. Like when we breathe, inhale and exhale, the diaphragm moves up and down. This is why our abdomen rises and falls when we sleep. Okay, because it's the movement of diaphragm that's taking place. The size of the lungs increase with the downward movement of diaphragm and the outward movement of the ribs. Okay, now see, look at this carefully. Now, when there is downward movement of diaphragm, the size of the lungs increases, okay, and the outward movement of ribs, like ribs, the outward movements of ribs is there when the diaphragm's downward movement is there. So what happens? This decreases the pressure of air inside the lungs. Due to this low pressure of air inside the lungs and high pressure of air outside enters to the lungs. Okay, now this is where the air enters the lungs. Okay, this is called taking in of breath. That is inspiration. Okay, inspiration, that is when we take in the breath. Now, see the next part, what is happening. On return of diaphragm to its normal position and the inward movement of ribs, the size of lung decreases and the pressure of air inside the lung increases. The pressure of air being higher in the lungs than outside causes the air from inside the lungs to come out. This is called breathing out or expiration. Okay, inspiration and expiration. All right. So this is breathing in and breathing out. What happens is breathing in, okay, and this is also about the pressure. Like low pressure is there inside the lungs and high pressure is outside the lungs. So our lungs, they take in the air, okay, they take in the air and we breathe in. And when the pressure inside the lungs is higher compared to the outside of the pressure outside, then we breathe out. Okay, that is expiration. Okay, if you can see in the first one, okay, inspiration. Okay, when we take in air, the lungs expand, diaphragm contracts. Diaphragm, it like goes down. In the second one, expiration, the lungs like they again contract and the diaphragm becomes like the diaphragm expands. So that is expiration. Okay. I mostly like I'll be sharing the diagrams since this book has all the diagrams in Hindi. I will share the diagrams in English with you all in the group. Okay. I'll share the diagrams in English with you all in the group. I'll just show you one English diagram of the respiratory system. Okay, from the web, 1 second. If you can see the diagram, we have trachea known as the windpipe, okay, through which the air comes in. All right. Bronchus and bronchioles, okay, alveoli and all, we are going to discuss it now, okay, further. Then there is the rib, okay, rib cage. Look on this side, the rib cage, and inside it are the lungs. Okay? And then below it is a muscle that's joined together, okay, known as the diaphragm. Okay. So this is basically the structure of the respiratory system. Okay. Now, 4.1 is homework. 4.1 is homework. Okay, please try it out. Today you have take the correct answers, all right, related to whatever we studied till now. A to G part is the homework. Okay. So we will stop here today, and tomorrow we will talk about the process of carrying oxygen to blood by the air. How the oxygen is carried to the blood. Okay, this is a very interesting thing. Okay, we'll talk about alveoli and their functions. If I can find a video, then I'll show you all a video about it too. Okay, so 5 minutes break is there right now, and then we will begin with maths. Okay, let's begin. Can I have your videos on, please?
Yes, ma'am.
We have been doing the divisibility rules, right? We did till 7, divisibility rule of 7. Now tell me, was the divisibility rule of 7 clear for all of you? Any doubt in 7? If it's still unclear, please let me know. So I'll explain it once again. Divisibility rule of 7. So then I'm moving on to 8. Okay. Still there any doubt occurs, just let me know. Alright, in any of it, I can explain it. Now, divisibility rule for 8. Okay, we are going to check out the divisibility rule for 8. Divisibility rule for 8 says that a number is divisible by 8 for which number formed by its hundreds, tens, and unit digits are divisible by 8. Okay. For example, if we check out a number, okay, when we have a big number like 5690 2 248. When we have a big number and we have to check out if this number is divisible by 8 or not. So how can we check it? We have to see the last 3 digits. Okay, we have to check out the last 3 digits if they are divisible by 8 or not. If they are divisible by 8 or not. Okay, that thing we have to check. Last 3 digits. If the last 3 digits, you have to divide and see the last 3 digits with 8. If it's being divided, then yes, the whole number is divisible by 8. If not, then the number is not divisible by 8. Okay, this is for the numbers that are more than 3 digit numbers, like 4 digit, 5 digit, 6 digit, 7 digit numbers. Okay. The number is lesser than that, you probably have to divide and check for 8. Okay. All right. So we will write it down.
Ma'am, how do you do this when you have to check for 3-digit numbers?
You have to divide and check only, Abraham. Okay, for 3 digit numbers. Okay. Any doubt in the rule of 8? Shall we move on to next one, the rule of 9? Or you're writing? Just let me know once it's written, okay? Done writing?
No, ma'am.
No.
Yes, ma'am. Finished writing.
248 will be divided by 8. Okay. We can cancel. 8 3 is 24.
8 3s are 24, 8 1s are 8. 31.
Yes, 31. 31 times. So
Yes, ma'am.
5 6 9 0 248
2
is divisible
divided by 9.
by
248.
8. Okay.
What is the number 5690248?
5690248 is a number with which we are checking the divisibility of 8.
5, okay. 5600.
Okay. You can also simply cancel also. Okay. When you have divide, you can just cancel and solve also. That's
Yes,
also
ma'am.
fine.
Ma'am, it's divisible.
Divisible, yes. Okay. So now moving on to the rule of 9. Okay. We will see the rule of 9. Now, the rule of 9 says that a number is divisible by 9 for which the sum of the digits is divisible by 9. Okay. This is similar to 3. Alright, this is similar to 3. This rule is the same as 3. 3 also, what we do is we add all the digits and check if what we are getting is a multiple of 3 or not. Okay, it's divisible by 3 or not. 9 also is the same thing. Okay, for example, let's pick a number such as 87 642. Okay, I want to know if this is divisible by 9 or not. So what I will do is I will sum all the digits 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2. Add and tell me how much are we getting? Quickly add and tell me.
27.
27. Very good. Is 27 coming in the table of 3? Sorry, 9.
Yes. 9 threes are.
9 threes are 3
How
times.
do like 8 plus 6? 8 to 16 is.
So that means 87642 is divisible by 9, okay? Because the sum of all the digits is divisible by 9, okay? Write this down.
Boom. Meredith shot when it's blessed tornado.
A number is divisible by 9 if
Fully the energy tank
sum
wireless
of all its digits
rank ultra X blaster stuff.
is divisible by 9.
Let's go. Secret XB. Moving Rebershka.
Ritu,
832. Ayo.
shall I clear the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Nathaniel done? Okay. Okay. Next, we will see divisibility rule for 10. This is very simple, easiest. Anybody is going to tell me what it is?
Ma'am, whichever number ends with 0 is divisible by 10.
Yes. Any number that ends with 0 is divisible by 10. Okay, this is as simple as that. For example, 199800 ending in 0 means it's divisible by 10. Okay. Any number that does not end with 0 is not divisible by 10. Okay, write it down. Any number which ends with 0 is divisible by 10. Okay.
Ma'am, I finished.
Finished. Okay. Last one is divisibility rule for 11. Okay. Divisibility rule for 11, and it is very interesting. Okay. I like this one. Divisibility rule for 11. So look carefully. Okay. It's not hard, it's easy. You just have to understand it. Divisibility rule for 11. Now, previously I taught you all about odd and even numbers, right? What are odd numbers and what are even numbers? So this rule is related to that only. Okay. This rule is related to the same, odd and even, but not numbers, places. Okay. Odd and even places. What is this? What is odd and even places? Okay. See, suppose I make some x's, some x, okay? Okay. Now, if you look carefully, all of them are coming at a place. This is the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, sixth one, and seventh one. Okay, seventh one.
But the rule is sum of even now. Mom, you're on mute.
Can you hear my voice now? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now, the x's which are coming on 1, 3, 5, 7 are at odd places. Okay, those are known as odd places. But those coming at 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, okay, or 10, those are known as even places. Okay, understood? 1, okay, 1, then 3, then 5, and 7 are odd places. Okay, are odd places, and 2, 4, 6, 8 are even places. Okay, same to odd and even numbers. Now, moving on to the divisibility rule, we will take an example. Okay, we will take an example and see how the divisibility rule of 11 works. Okay, example, we have a number that is 2080217 I have to check if this number is divisible by 11 or not. Okay. So first we will add the digits at odd places. Okay, add the digits at like first add at even places. Okay, add digits at even places. Even places. So it will be 2 plus 8. No, even. 2 is odd. 1 is odd. So we have even places. Okay, that is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 2. Okay, 1 second, there is a confusion. 1 second. Can you find sums of both and let me know? Three and 25.
What should I do in that? 1 minute. Carry the 8 plus 2 10, 10 plus 2 12, 12 plus 8, 4 plus 8 20, 20 minus 19, 19 plus 1 20, 25. Okay.
25 and 3. Now, shall I remove this chart of odd and even places at the side, if you all have written?
Yes, ma'am.
This is coming total 3 and this is coming 25. The next step is we take the difference. Okay, difference means subtract whatever is bigger, like odd places difference is more than even places. Okay, whichever is bigger from that you subtract the lesser. So we do 25 minus 3. How much I'm getting? 22. Now check if 22 is divisible by 11 or not. So 22 is divisible by 11 two times. So that means this whole number is divisible by 11. By 11. Okay. Now see, this is easy, very easy. We take the differences. We take first we will add the numbers at odd places. Okay, and then the numbers at even places, and then subtract it. Okay, take the difference. Okay, and then we whatever we get, we have to check if that number is divisible by 11 or not. Okay.
Are you sure, ma'am?
Yes, Abraham. Only one thing that was confusing me was the odd and even places. That I'm just cross-checking. Have you all written this one till here?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am,
Yes.
one thing you forgot, ma'am. It will
Yes.
either be it will either be it will either be ending in a like a 1 minute, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, it has to be ending with 11. It needs to be a multiple of 11 or it needs to be 0.
This number, Abraham, this number, $22 you're talking about?
No, ma'am. There are cases that when you do this, ma'am, you subtract it, ma'am, you get the answer as 0. In those cases, it is still divisible by 11.
Okay, in those cases, it's still divisible by 11. So, okay, either 0 or a multiple of 11, you are saying.
Yes.
If the difference in some of the digits at odd places and some of the digits at even places is okay. Yes, Abraham, you are correct. Okay. So see, all of y'all see, look now that when you are getting, see, we first did a sum of the odd numbers and even numbers. Okay. We were getting 22 here. We were getting 22 here. Either when you are subtracting, finding the difference. So either you will get a multiple of 11 here or you will get a 0 when you take the difference. So when you get a 0, that time also it will be divisible by 11. Okay, that time also it will be divisible by 11 when you get the difference of odd and even as 0. Okay, got it now? Check out one more, like first write it down. And then we'll try out one more example of this. A number is divisible by 11. A number is divisible by 11 if the difference in the sum of the digits at odd places in sum of digits at odd places and even places is either 0 or divisible by 11. Okay, this is the divisibility rule for 11. Okay, now have you all copied this example so I can clear it and we'll check out another one?
Ma'am, there's another rule.
There is another rule? No, another example of the same rule.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Another example. 10813. Okay. At the even places. 0 plus 1 odd, 1 plus 8 plus 3,
Yes, ma'am,
12.
it is divisible.
It is divisible. Difference would be 12 minus 1 equals to 11. Is 11 divisible by 11? Yes. So 10813 is divisible by 11. Understood how it works? Divisibility rule for 11. Hope it's clear. We will stop here now. One more thing I wanted to discuss with you all that about the test of this chapter. It has 8 exercises. Do you all want to do the test in 2 parts or the whole thing at once? Since there is see, it is easy, okay, but since it's lengthy also, like 8 exercises are there, so I can take the test into 1 to 4 in the first part of the test and 1.5 to 1.8 in second part of the test. You would like it split. Okay. Shriyan and Nathaniel, Abraham. Single part or 2 separate tests for the
Split,
chapter?
split, ma'am, split.
Split. Okay. Nathaniel and Shriyan split works for you all too, right?
Yes, ma'am, that'll work.
Okay. So split we can do. Tuesday is your test for science. Wednesday, shall we keep the test of math?
No, ma'am, that's too close.
Thursday or Friday?
Ma'am, can we keep it on Friday?
Ma'am, can we keep it on Friday?
Or can we keep it
Friday.
next to next week?
No, not next to next week. That will be that will be a lot of delay. Friday is okay.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Ma'am, the first
Today
test will be pretty easy. The
it
second
will
test
be.
will be a little more difficult.
Okay, prepare well. Okay, all the 4 exercises. Also, I want you all to prepare from the exercise, like that is in the end also. Okay, please go through that also. Questions from that. Okay, why I'm saying is because sometimes it might come questions from the exercise part. Index, besides index questions, exercises are also given at the back of the chapter. So till 1.4, that is some starting questions of the exercise. Prepare that too. Okay, test of math chapter 1, exercises 1.1 to 1.4 will be on Friday next week. Okay, also Monday I will take a session on in science how to answer for the test. Okay, in science I'll take one session on how do we write answers. Okay, how to answer in the test. Okay, one session on that I can take.
I forgot to ask tomorrow, do we have class or not?
No class tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow is a holiday on account of Good Friday. All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a
Thank you.
question, ma'am. So,
Yes.
do we have like, do we have a time limit?
Time limit for the test? Yes, time limit will be there. Okay. Or I'll give a time limit. Okay. It's good if you all practice to do test in a time limit. All right. I'll be giving a time. Okay. Okay, then see you all on Monday. Bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.